The 10 was actually the Eleanor anniversary. So their first iPhone came out too.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for gathering, and it's fun to enjoy the ice cream. We just wanted to tune in with Grandma one more time today, at least, and we wondered if there's any follow-up questions after our time together a couple of days ago, or there might be a question on the list. They say, "Hey, I had a question on there, and I didn't get to ask my question." Or Grandma might even ask us some questions, or maybe you've even seen some images in one of the photo albums and you wanted to ask about that. I'm going to get us started with one question for Grandma. Someone put it on that sheet. Most of the people that are not you guys in this circle are 21 years or younger, right?
What? 21 years or younger?
Yeah, outside of you guys.
Well, what about you four adults?
Well, we're not 21 years or younger.
He's just saying there's a lot of young people.
Okay, I get that.
Well,
Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give people that are 21 or younger as they grow up?
Am I supposed to be doing this?
Sure.
Have a goal. Because if you just drift along and don't have any idea of what you're doing, it's like trying to get down to the dock. If you don't take a step, you can't make it.
So I think try a lot of things and figure out what really makes your heart click, what turns you on. Be really noticing what gives you energy and what drains your energy. Try to go for things that give you energy. Hard work often gives you energy. I mean, it isn't just, you're not looking for the easy, you're looking for satisfaction and meaning in your life. I think it's good to be focused a lot on making money, and I think I was always taught that the important thing was to hurry up and get enough money together to buy a house, and once you could be buying a house, you had some stability, some anchor in your life, so that's kind of still in me. But I think a lot more important than making lots of money is to figure out what do you want that money for.
That's a good point.
You want just enough to live on. I mean, we have a guy that works for us sometimes, and he doesn't want to work all the time. He just works when he needs money. He makes enough. You know, he does handyman jobs, and that's the life he wants to live, right? I
It's
mean,
like Uncle Richard.
yeah.
Whenever he got $12,000 in his savings account, he stopped working. He didn't want to ever to have too much money.
So
He
there's
just always
lots of
wanted a
ways-
very simple life.
Anyway, I don't know what other advice. Choose your friends well and value the friends that you have. It's the friends you're making now at your age may turn out to be the most important friends you'll ever have in your life. I mean, that's been true for me. I still have these friends from high school and from college, and you know, I don't see them all that often, but they're probably the people I still have the most strong connection with, the closest values. We see things the same way, and you have to work at relationships, you have to work at friendships, you have to keep in touch with people if you want to stay their friend. So that's important.
That's good.
I don't know.
Anybody have a follow-up question from Grandma? It's kind of open mic time, so what would you like to talk about or hear about?
I think like this could be going back some, but I think like in your college years, what were some things you wish you would have done differently, and then like what are some things that you're maybe like really glad you did in college?
I don't know. I think I wish. I don't know. I think my summer jobs at Jasper, where I lived in with a bunch of college students, was a lot like the college experiences most of you will have. Because I lived at home and went to college on the subway and went back home every night. That's very different than living in a dorm and you know, learning to be on your own. So I don't know.
You did that all 4 years, right? Like living at home and then going to school?
Yeah, I did. But and in the big city, I mean, Toronto, University of Toronto is a big world-class university, but more of the students lived off campus than on, you know, the people lived at home and went elsewhere. I mean, there were some residences, but that was maybe 40% of the students. So it was kind of a different life. I don't know.
I have a question.
I remember, I enjoyed all those years and trying new things and getting to know new people. I really would have preferred to, you know, be in a residence hall and live away from home. I wish if I could do it again, I would like to have done that. And I wanted that for Cindy and Derek, that they could go to good school and live away from home. Now, if any of you could go to Chico State, though, that would be good.
What are some unusual jobs you've had?
Somewhat.
Unusual jobs.
Well, when I first got my BA, my next job, but this was for the summer while I was waiting for Sue to get ready to go to Europe, but it was filing pink slips for the public health department. Filing little pink pieces of paper in file drawers. You never want to do that. I worked one temporary job as a typist for the telephone company. So that was really interesting to me because I kind of got to know what the working life was like for young women, and that was their career. I knew I was only doing it for a month or two, so didn't bother me. It was kind of interesting to know how they lived. I didn't want to do that though. What else? And I worked, you know, in the summers I worked as a chambermaid. That was an interesting job.
And a nanny?
And then,
Weren't you a nanny?
oh yes, I think there are pictures in some of these albums. I'll show you sometime. When I was 14, I went away in the summer, not for the whole summer, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something, and lived on a big kind of estate.
That's
And-
pretty young.
Hmm?
That's pretty young to go.
See, my friend who first found out about the job, I think she was 16 and I was 14. We were in the same grade. You know, I've told you all before how I was about 2 years too young for the grade I was in. But it was good. It was fine. I learned to cook bacon.
That's an important skill.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lifelong skill.
Yeah, but that was fun because these people were wealthy people, and I kind of got a vision of how they lived, and we were away from home. We were on our own. And it was a summer. It was a lake. It was at Lake Simcoe, and anyway, we had a good time.
As you look over your whole life, what do you think are some of the most important skills that you have?
I don't know. I just think getting along with people is probably the most important skill. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't know. I'm not very good at anything that I can think of except talking.
Listening?
I don't know. What skills do you think I have?
Well, I was thinking you know how to type. that helps.
Not very well. I was
File,
never
pink
good
slip.
at typing.
You were
I was always inaccurate. And well, a job I had when Sue and I traveled to Europe, we could stay as long as we had money. And so we at some point we were in London, our money was running low, so we got jobs. And I was a typist for this Welsh atomic energy company, and the name of the company was Trustfinith. And so, I mean, there wasn't even letterhead paper. I had every letter I typed, I had to write Trustfinith. And I still don't know how to spell it. That was not I mean, it was really interesting to just do that and see how